Dive into the captivating world of CBS News Sunday Morning this week, a show that's not just news, but a thoughtful blend of stories that challenge fears, celebrate nature's wonders, and navigate today's heated political debates. It's the kind of broadcast that makes you rethink your weekend routine, sparking curiosity about the unknown and the controversial. But here's where it gets intriguing. How do we balance overcoming personal anxieties with larger societal clashes? And this is the part most people miss, the subtle ways everyday topics connect to broader human experiences. Join us as we unpack the highlights from the October 26th edition, hosted by the ever-engaging Jane Pauley. The Emmy Award-winning CBS News Sunday Morning airs live on CBS every Sunday starting at 9 a.m. Eastern, offering a fresh perspective on the week's happenings. Plus, tune in via the CBS News app, available for download here. https://mobile, where streams begin at 11 a.m. Eastern. https://mobile. It's a seamless way to catch up, whether you're at home or on the go, ensuring you never miss a moment of thoughtful journalism. Cover story, Phobias, how to overcome your worst misguided fears. Picture this, an intense dread of something that shouldn't really scare you, like boarding a plane, spotting a cockroach, or even visiting the dentist. These are phobias, exaggerated fears that affect nearly 33 million adults in the U.S. at some point in their lives. Susan Spencer dives deep with leading experts to explore the extraordinary steps folks take to conquer these irrational terrors, from therapy techniques to gradual exposure. For beginners, think of it as training your brain to rewire its panic response, turning fear into manageable challenges. It's empowering stuff that shows resilience isn't just for the movies. For more info, check out these resources. Psychologist Luana Marquez, official site https://Dr. Louis Siegelman. Official site https://Dr. Louis Siegelman. Official site https://Dr. Louis Siegelman www.bsu.edu/academics/csh about staff. Jill Coleman, Almanac, October 26. Take a nostalgic trip back in time as Sunday Morning revisits key historical events that happened on this very date, reminding us how the past shapes our present. Nature, tarantulas. Why you shouldn't be afraid. Let's talk about the brown tarantula, Aphonopelma hensi, a fascinating creature whose range spans from Louisiana to Texas and even Colorado. We hardly know much about them, but arachnid expert Cara Shillington flips the script by questioning our automatic fear of these eight-legged wonders. She chats with Jonathan Vigliotti during a visit to Colorado's Junta Tarantula Fest, an annual event drawing thousands to the Comanche National Grassland, where countless tarantulas roam haphazardly in search of mates. It's a celebration of nature's diversity, proving that what we fear might just be misunderstood beauty. For those new to this, tarantulas are typically harmless to humans, using their fangs more for defense than attack. And this festival is a great example of how education can turn dread into appreciation. For more info, La Junta Tarantula Fest, www.net/tarantulafest. Cara Shillington, Professor, Department of Biology, Eastern Michigan University, https://www.emich.edu/biology/faculty/C Shillington, Comanche National Grassland, https://www.fs.usda.gov, Recreation, Pueblo, Colorado, thanks to wildlife photographer Devin Matthews. Halloween, by the numbers. Statistical dive into all things spooky and seasonal. Perfect for gearing up for Halloween festivities. Politics. Gavin Newsom, Robert Costa brings us the latest. In a compelling CBS Sunday Morning interview airing October 26th, California Governor Gavin Newsom shoots down President Trump's idea to deploy National Guard troops to San Francisco, calling it laughable. He insists there's no crisis brewing and vows to fight any such move in court. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this just partisan banter or a genuine divide on public safety? Many argue Trump's proposal stems from a desire to address perceived chaos, while others see it as an overreach. What do you think? Should federal troops intervene in local issues, or is this a slippery slope toward undermining state autonomy? We'd love to hear your take in the comments. For more details, preview of Newsom on Trump's laughable National Guard suggestion. Nothing happening in San Francisco. https://www.clevelandnews/Newsom on Trump's laughable National Guard suggestion. Nothing happening in San Francisco. Passage, in memoriam, a touching tribute to the remarkable individuals who passed away this week, honoring their legacies. Business, CEO Jim Farley on steering Ford through Trump's tariffs. Ford Motor Company builds over 80% of its U.S. sold vehicles domestically, the top rate among Detroit automakers, yet relies on imported parts hit hard by tariffs. CEO Jim Farley shares with Chris Van Cleve how these Trump-imposed duties have already cost Ford $2 billion, threatening American investments and potentially boosting rivals. Interestingly, Farley opts for a Chinese-made electric vehicle himself, sparking debate. Is this hypocrisy or a pragmatic choice in a global market? And this is the part most people miss, how tariffs intended to protect jobs might actually hinder innovation. He explains the complexities of supply chains, making it clearer for newcomers that balancing local manufacturing with international sourcing is a delicate art. For more info, Ford.com, https://www.The White House. From John Adams, our second president, to modern times, the White House has endured fires, reconstructions, expansions, and renovations. Mo Rocca explores this iconic American symbol, which recently saw partial demolition by President Trump for a massive, privately funded ballroom. It's a bold move that's divided opinions. Some see it as refreshing modernization, others as a controversial alteration of a national treasure. But here's where it gets intriguing. Does funding such changes from private pockets blur the lines between presidential privilege and public heritage? Rocca also revisits the archives for a look at the British burning of the White House, one of America's darkest historical moments. From the archives, When the British Burned the White House, video, www.cbsnews.com/video/When the British Burned the White House. For more info, White House Historical Association, https://www.whitehousehistory.org, Maryland Center for History and Culture, https://www.mdhistory.org. Books, The True Authentic Kenny Chesney, steps beyond the stage with his new book, Heart Life Music. In it, he chronicles his journey from East Tennessee to building his No Shoes Nation fanbase. Lee Cowan sits down with the superstar in the laid-back Florida Keys, where Chesney blends in like a local, discussing family, the grind of touring, and bouncing back from the 2009 concert that left him feeling hitting a wall. For music lovers new to his world, Chesney's authenticity shines through as he opens up about life's highs and lows. Read an excerpt. Heart Life Music by Kenny Chesney with Holly Gleason, https://cbsnews/book excerpt. Heart Life Music by Kenny Chesney with Holly Gleason. For more info, Heart Life Music, https://heartlifemusic Kenny Chesney Holly Gleason by Kenny Chesney with Holly Gleason, William Morrow, available in hardcover, large print trade paperback, ebook and audio formats on November 4th via Amazon. https www.amazon.com/heartlifemusic Kenny Chesney DP/006342103, tag CBS News 20. Barnes Noble, https www.barnesandnoble.com 11469432887, and bookshop.org, https://bookshop.org, p-books. Heart Life Music Kenny Chesney, Holly Gleason, William Morrow, available in hardcover, large print trade paperback, ebook and audio formats. CEO Nicholas Thompson on how running helped him find his footing. Nicholas Thompson, CEO of The Atlantic and a renowned tech journalist, speaker, author, and elite long-distance runner, opens up to Tony Dokapil. He credits his father for igniting his running passion, shares how he battled cancer, and passes that enthusiasm to his kids. His new book, The Running Ground, a memoir meets motivational tale, urges everyone to lace up. Beginners, imagine running as a simple sport that builds mental toughness. It's accessible, requiring just shoes and determination. Read an excerpt, The Running Ground, by Nicholas Thompson. https://cbsnews.com/book excerpt, The Running Ground, by Nicholas Thompson. For more info, The Running Ground, A Father, a Son, and the Simplest of Sports. https://penguinrandomhouse.com/books678434. The Running Ground by Nicholas Thompson. By Nicholas Thompson, Random House, in hardcover, ebook, and audio formats. Available October 28 via Amazon. https://www.amazon.com/rnnbs-pumin-b-https www.amazon.com/running ground. Guillermo del Toro on Frankenstein and Remaking a Monster. Oscar-winning filmmaker Guillermo del Toro breathes new life into the classic horror tale of a scientist piecing together. Seth Doane chats with del Toro about his lifelong horror obsession, his teenage crush on Shelley, and the idea that in reality we're all weird in some way. Plus, insights from stars Oscar Isaac as Victor Frankenstein and Jacob Elordi as the creature. For newcomers, this retelling explores themes of creation and isolation, reminding us that monsters often mirror our own vulnerabilities. Watch the trailer for Frankenstein in the video player below. For more info, Frankenstein is now in theaters and streams on Netflix starting November 7th. Willini. Guillermo del Toro on Instagram at instagram.com/gdtreal. Exhibition, Frankenstein, Crafting a Tale Eternal, at theoldselfridges.com, Common Sense Like N, at the Old Selfridges Hotel, London, through November 9th. Frankenstein, or the Modern Prometheus.com/gutenberg.org/files, 84H, by Mary Wollstonecraft, Godwin Shelley, Project Gutenberg. Hartman.tbd. Web exclusives, Ballot star Misty Copeland. YouTube video.com/video. 10 years ago, Misty Copeland broke barriers as the first black female principal dancer at the American Ballet Theatre in New York. Her final performance on the ballet stage was on October 22, 2025. In this 2014 profile, Anthony Mason captures her journey since joining ABT in 2001, discussing the slow pace of change in classical dance. Web Extra. Historian Jill Lepore on the metaphor of America as a family. YouTube video. https://watch video, number ODXMMJRIB. Historian Jill Lepore, author of We the People, A History of the U.S. Constitution, discusses with Tony Dokupil America's competing narratives, polarization, and how dissent can be a patriotic act, a timely reminder in divided times. The Emmy Award-winning CBS News Sunday Morning is brought to you by executive producer Rand Morrison. Sunday Morning, About Us, cbsnews.com/news/aboutus14-2013. DVR alert. Check when Sunday Morning airs in your area. https://cbsnews.com/news, Sunday Morning show times. Also streams on the CBS News app. https://live, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Download it here. https://mobile. Catch full episodes on demand via cbsnews.com, cbs.com, and Paramount Plus. https://live, compatible with Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire TV Stick, and Xbox. Follow us on Twitter/X, https://twitter.com/CBS Sunday, Facebook, https://CBS Sunday Morning, Instagram, https://youtube.com/channel UCVTPKRFU of 652X. TikTok, https://tiktok.com/@CBS Sunday, Blue Sky, https://app/profile/cbssundaymorning.social, and at cbssundaymorning.com. Download the free Sunday Morning audio podcast on iTunes. https itunes.apple.com/us/podcast CBS Sunday Morning with Jane Pauley ID 1010738108 and then play IT. Probably /BITID, just 10 class sets, etc. You'll never miss the trumpet. Got Sun art to share? Send your creations to sundaymorningsuns@cbsnews.com. The political clashes, the phobia-busting advice, or perhaps the White House renovations. Do you agree that personal fears can be conquered like societal divides? Or is there a counterpoint we've missed? Share your thoughts below and join the conversation. We can't wait to hear from you.